Hello. Deb here from sunny Australia. Sunshine is back, rain is gone. How's everybody doing out there? Today, we are going to take a call as always, and then we are going to talk about another topic called scrying, which, as always, I love to teach. However, before that, wondering how everybody's going. There's been some pretty heavy energies going on out there. Obviously, just going past the full moon, but solar flares as well, and Schumann resonance, and all kinds of things going on. So, what I thought I'd talk to you about is some ways to actually balance those energies, because I'm hearing from people who aren't normally bothered by them that they're even having difficulty sleeping. And so sometimes we need a little bit of extra self care. And acknowledging that the energies around us are high, it can even feel like anxious energy. And if that's not ours, then we have to remind ourselves to breathe. Bring in fresh, peaceful energy and release and let go of anything that doesn't feel like it's ours, anything anxious. The other thing that can help is water. So whether you can have a swim, a bath, a shower before bedtime can be very, very helpful. And of course, putting devices down or putting on relaxation music, whether for you that might be symphony, it might be some beautiful guitar, it might be some apps that you use that will play you some meditation music. But acknowledging that this energy around you is a bit sketchy and a little bit anxious. As soon as we acknowledge it, we realize that we're in control. And there's quite a few things we can do. The other thing that we can turn to, if you're familiar with them, are our beautiful crystals. Holding one in our hand, holding one to our heart. Um, I'm wearing quartz today, which actually amplifies and magnifies whatever you are feeling. So if you are not feeling calm, you're feeling anxious, quartz, clear quartz is probably not the crystal for the moment, but beautiful rose quartz, pink quartz, lavender quartz, any of the green crystals are heart chakra crystals, can bring us back into our center and help us to calm down. Now, those are just a few tips and tricks for you. We're going to be talking in just a moment to Cookie in Salem, Massachusetts. And after that, we'll talk to you some more about scrying. Hello, Cookie. Are you there?
Hi, how are you?
I'm really well. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good, good, good. Now, today, would you like a psychic reading all about you, or would you prefer a mediumship reading about spirits that have crossed over?
Whatever you think is coming through.
Okay. All right, bear with me. I'm just going to tune into your energy and see what. Okay. Now, were you close to your grandfather on your mother's side of the family?
No.
Okay. Let me just see if that is who this gentleman is. He, were you alive when, or did he pass before you were born?
Um, I think I was like about 5, 6, maybe.
Okay. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll describe what he looks like, and then we'll just take a very quick message from him and then see if anyone else wants to step in or whether I get some info. But this man that's stepping in, he came through on your mother's side. He's tall, probably was balding on top. And he feels a little like in his later days, he got a bit daughtery or a little bit, what would you say? Yeah, a little bit forgetful. So what's your message for Cookie, please? He's telling you to slow down. He's saying that life goes so fast, and he said you like to zoom everywhere. Is that true?
Not really. No, I don't feel that.
You don't feel like you zoom everywhere? Well, let's see if this guy's actually for you. Bear with me. I'm going to grab my divine rod here and see. We might have somebody for another caller. Bear with me. Okay. So, sir, are you actually, which way is yes? Firstly, which way? You can move this thing. Okay. Go ahead. And which way is yes? Okay, great. Okay. And which way is no, sir? Okay. Are you here for Cookie? No. Okay. Well, off you go then. Thank you. We'll talk to you later. Sorry about that, Cookie. Let's see if we can get somebody through for you. I've got, have you lost an auntie on your father's side of the family, an aunt?
Yeah, a few of them, I guess.
Okay, so this one's got she's got dark hair, and she's got it swept like in a center part, but it's almost swept up like wings and it's short. So like a bob, but it had a lot of swooping up of around the front of the face. Can you think of a dark-haired aunt from your father's side of the family that had some big hair?
No. No, I can't.
You can't. Okay, bear with me. Are you auntie to Cookie? Auntie like. This lady was full of beans. She had a lot of energy. She was a lot of fun, and she's showing me herself dancing. Um, she looks to be probably late 50s to early 60s. And I feel like she was at a lot of the family events. So, did you have an auntie by marriage that might have married an uncle of yours that this fits the description of?
No, not really. No.
Oh wow, we're usually spot
Wow.
on. So this is strange. Let me just try one more time. We're gonna let this lady go. Ta, yeah, she said ta ta, and off she went. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna try to hook in to see if your guides will talk to us. All right, now third time's a charm here. So this time, what I'm tuning into is on the left side, which is usually the maternal side, or it can be you, just the female side. Have you or anyone on your mother's side had small dogs like poodles?
No. Nobody really had dogs.
Nobody had dogs on your side of the family. Holy cow, Cookie, this is crazy. Okay, we're going to do one
I
more
know.
thing here. I'm going to go this a different way. I happen to have the cards ready, and I'm just going to see which cards I use because they might get us back on track. It's been a very interesting morning. I was talking to everybody about energies being a bit wild with solar flares and full moons and all sorts of things going on, really interrupting a lot of people's sleep. And I feel obviously very interrupted this morning. So bear with me, and I'm going to pull a card for you and see if that gets us started. So come on, Spirit. We want Cookie's team. Thank you. There we go. Okay. So what they have pulled for us, first up, is a card that they call preservation. Now, interestingly, it depicts um, a a female, but it's as though you're holding back and getting ready to give birth to something new. It's like you're in a period where you're waiting for new things to come about for yourself, but that hasn't arrived. It's like, when you have new ideas, you want to open a next chapter in life. Does that resonate with you? Like lots of changes you'd like to see?
Well, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, let's see if we can be more specific. So let me think, because they're talking about spring and you guys are going into autumn. Are you okay? They're talking about the literal birth of a new baby. So let me just ask them, is this the birth of a literal child, or are we talking about the birth of a new project? Project. So they're talking about you having something new coming up in April or May. Are you looking at a change in, oh my goodness, it could be anything from work. It feels like work. I don't want to say housing, but a project in the home. Does that make any sense to you about April, May?
No, I'm retired.
Say again.
I'm retired, so
You're retired.
no.
So you're not looking at
No,
making changes in the home, doing a project in the home in spring.
nope.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, we are striking out here. Let me see what else they had to say. They dropped a whole bunch of cards. Okay. So rediscovery, alchemy, productivity, and okay. All right. So because they give me this feeling something definitely new is coming for you. All right. I'm just asking them to use their words because the pictures haven't helped us land onto it. Okay. So you have a daughter, Cookie. Do you have a daughter?
Nope.
All right. Wow. This is strange that I can't connect. I'm really sorry about this. This is not normally how we roll. It does happen though. It's probably for myself 1 out of 100. No, it's probably more like 1 out of 200, 1 out of 300, where I just can't make a good connection. And there's honestly no real um there's no excuse, if you will. It happens, and it's always difficult to understand why that happens when everything else goes swimmingly. So, all I can say, Cookie, is I'm really, really sorry that I haven't been able to bring you anything productive today in terms of having it make sense to you. Um, Yeah, I'll leave you with this message. They do tell me that you do have some surprises coming up in spring, even if they're not on the cards. It's like there's a little refresh in the homecoming, and I know you may not have it planned right now, but I'd love to hear back from you. If you haven't had the changes by June, literally send me a message. You can do so through the show, but that's all they keep showing me. It's like the birth of something new, which is a little change for you coming up around spring, and it's like a little mini project of whether it's a change of furnishings, a change of flooring, there's some small refresh happening. And I'm sorry I couldn't bring anything else through for you, Cookie.
Do you see any moves for any of my family members? Any moves?
Well, I was thinking it was daughter and son-in-law, but is it son and daughter-in-law?
I'm not sure. I don't
You
know,
have a
but you
son?
see a move.
Okay. Well,
You
that
see
was
a
the
move.
refresh around the home. Um, could have been a move or it could be a project, but they're talking about April, May, April, May. And do you have a son, Cookie?
Yes,
Okay. Um, and has he got little ones? Well, I say little ones,
yes,
children, they may not be little anymore. Was that a no or a yes?
yes.
Yes, okay. Um, all right. Because I'm just getting a picture. It looks like they're really, really busy. But I'm trying. Okay, so what's coming up for them? Bear with me. Bear with me. Um, and they don't have pets because I honestly feel like there's a new pet that's going to be introduced. I thought it was the birth of a child, but they're like, no. It's like I can see like people wanting to hold it like a baby. Are they cat people?
Definitely not. No.
Not cat. Okay, because I thought for sure there's something new coming for them. But it see, yeah, you can't see because we're on radio. But this was the something new, and I thought it was daughter and son-in-law, but it must be son. Um, introduction of, well, it does feel like a pet. It feels like a pet. As far as a move, it feels like he's a little bit up in the air about work. Um, it's like he's going along okay, but I feel like there's still something more on his mind that he would like to develop or work in. Um, but I don't feel like he's going to make any decisions quickly on that. Um, he seems like a very steady level guy. And I'm just asking them, is there anything new coming up for him? Because it felt like a pet for the family for the, I wanted to say, okay, but what about for him work-wise? No, it's going to be a ways off before he makes any changes in regards to his work, but I feel like it's been on his mind of what more, what next, because he does well with what he does. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah. So like I think he's going to take things to the next level for himself, but it's going to be literally 3 to 5 years away before he goes next level because he's like in the pocket. He's doing well right now. Um, Did okay, so I was just thinking about cold climate. So yeah, of course, you're in Massachusetts. If he's anywhere near you, it does get cold. Because it feels like somebody's craving to move to the warm. So has there been talk about moving south?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Um, it doesn't feel like Florida so much as it does like moving down to, it's almost like South Carolina or somewhere more towards inland rather than coastal. Um, and they're saying to me that it's all in the planning, but it honestly feels like it's a year to 2 years away because there'd have to be careful planning. Now, is he talking about taking you with him if they go?
No.
Okay. Because that's what I can see. It's like you're not going without him and he's not going without you. But there's talk of moving south. And it will come together.
That'll happen.
And it will,
Do you think that'll
so,
happen?
yeah, it will come together for sure. It will come together. It's like, what's the right word? You guys, my team, give me the right words here. With a bit of concentrated effort and focus. So is he working for an organization where a transfer is possible? Because that's what they make me feel like it would have to be arranged.
No.
But it's possible.
No. He
Does that
works for the state.
Okay. All righty. Well, if it's not a transfer, then it's like a, a, a similar role. And I know obviously a separate state, but it's like at level. It's like, I don't know if they do that in the US, but they have banded pay grades in many state organizations in other parts of the world. And it's like him moving, but at level, like it works out perfectly. Um, And they're saying some careful organization and keeping his eyes out, and it can definitely happen. And
Mhm.
I feel like all of you are just would love to actually be in a warmer climate. And it would be good for the kids. They're saying it's not that the cold is bad for the kids, but they're saying this positive move would be really good for the kids as well.
Hmm.
Yeah. So his kids getting older now? His kids, when I say getting older, is he looking at is he getting kids that are in the teen years?
Um, Getting there, but not quite there.
Yeah, because has he got one of the older, are they a son?
No.
No, it's a girl. Okay. Because they just said the oldest one might not want the move, something to do with a sport or hobby that they like to be involved with and a little bit more involved with the school and friendship community. But once the move would be made, it would all go well. There it just feels like there'd be one older child who would be a little bit, and I kind of made the assumption of boy because it felt like sport, or it felt like something that they were involved with, that they were concerned with moving, but that they would adjust really well. So um I guess that's about the only thing we've really latched onto here, is that there's been talk about going south. It will come through, but it's 1 to 2 years away, and it's like an at level of move, and he just has to keep his eyes out, um, because the opportunity will arise. But just for yourself, they're talking about you going as well.
Hmm. That
Uh,
ain't gonna happen. No way.
You're
I
not
don't
going?
believe I'll live. No way. No way.
Oh, wow. Well, he's certainly going to offer it to you, I believe, because he seems like a very generous, warm-hearted son. And I feel like the only thing holding him back from going or really pushing forward on it is that he would want you with him.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, Cookie. So thanks for that. And I wish I could have brought more through for you today. It's just a bit, like I said at the beginning of the show, these energies have been hectic for me. And I do apologize. But the move south looks good. Thanks, Cookie.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Bye bye. All righty. So, well, we did talk about it at the beginning of the show, that sometimes these energies can be a little bit much. We're going to go ahead and move on to our topic of the day. We have about 5 minutes left, and the topic is called scrying. Scrying is anytime you look at something and you begin to see something that may or may not be there. So I'll give you an example. If you've ever sat in a chair and looked at the tiles on the floor or the floorboards on the floor, and you start to see a shape or a face, and you know it's not there, but your imagination pulls that forward for you. You may sit in the same chair the next time and not be able to see it. It works the same way with a crystal ball or with an onyx, a black plate, where there's a reflection. And it also works the same where we have tarot or oracle cards. Yes, we can memorize what the meanings of the cards are. However, we can also look at, I'll pick a nicer card for anybody watching this on Moonstruck. We can also look at the images, the pictures, and allow them to tell us a story. So the card, we can cover the words on the card, and this is my favorite go-to when I'm doing card readings, is allowing the picture to speak to me. So it may not just be the image, it may be colors, it may just be things that I see that aren't actually there. So when I look at a card, I'm holding one up that has a young lady, a young girl on it, but it also has another card on it, which has a woman in the middle with a um, looks like almost a moon around the face. There's many, many different little things when you get wonderful oracle or tarot cards. Always go for great illustrations because the illustrations can tell the story. I'm just trying to find one here that I can give you some good examples with. So what we actually see is not always the obvious. We use a technique called scrying so that we can actually see further. This one I'm holding up has a woman, but it also has many concentric circles, some inside getting smaller and smaller, and some actually separate themselves. And that, to me, if I was reading for one person, that might tell me that somebody was going in circles, that they might be wrapped up and caught in a cycle. But if I read for somebody else, there's also a beautiful light here. And the light in the middle of the card around the neck says that she might be heart-led because that light is emanating from the heart chakra. There are other colors and other patterns that I can, let's hold it in front of the camera, that I can choose from to actually pull information. So whether it's a crystal ball, whether it's a tarot or oracle card, there's information all around us. And if we ask Spirit to work with us, they can help us to see what may or may not be there. It's a really effective technique. It's one that you have to have trust in yourself and trust in your team of guides and angels that they will point out and show you the right things. So if you would like more information about readings with myself or about classes, you can find me at www.deb.bullions, bullions.com.au. And if you are interested in learning, you can find me at www.spiritquestschool.org. There are many, many classes there. You can also study and mentor one-to-one. You can send me a message and we can work out what would be right for you. I'm doing more and more mentoring lately. Spirit seems to be sending me some exceptionally gifted people who may be halfway down the track of learning and they just want something a little extra, a little special. They want me to start where they're at and move them forward further into their professionalism, or in some cases, into a professional career with psychic work, mediumship work, Akashic records, or healing. So if you yourself would like to connect, you can find me at the web addresses, and I will be with you again next week, same time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care now.